Hello and welcome back to the Official Saracen. Today we're going to be doing our official review of our sword by Kilich right here. If you guys can see. Sword by Kilich. As well as the sword by Yataghan right here. Okay, well, rather this way. Okay. Now, let's divide this into good and bad, okay? And we're going to be starting off with the good. And we're going to be starting off with the Kilich first, okay? So the Kilich, first off, it's quite maneuverable. And the reason why it's very maneuverable is actually because of the fuller. So if you guys can see, along the middle of the blade is a fuller. Okay, so this is not actually a blood groove, which a lot of people misconstrue. It's not a blood groove. It's not meant to siphon the blood out of the enemy. That's not what it's for. It's simply a way to reduce some weight on the actual blade, and this actually does quite a bit. So it is quite maneuverable. It is a little bit heavy. However, it is still manageable, especially if you do what's called the what I like to call the Dalwar grip. So very, very strong hammer grip right here, or rather you could even have a mobile hammer grip, but a hammer grip nonetheless. When we were doing some cutting tests, which you guys will see later on in this video, this handled very, very nicely. It did a very, very good job, just sliced right through whatever we threw at it. So in terms of maneuverability, in terms of its cutting potential, very, very good. And as I said before in the video you guys are going to see, actually, I did not sharpen these. This is the factory edge, okay? And with that factory edge, it cut straight through. I mean, albeit it was water bottles I was cutting. I was not doing tatami. Well, give me a bit more subscribers, then I might do some tatami. But in terms of water bottle cutting, it did a very, very good job. I didn't actually do a sharpness test, so let's see. Let's see if I have some paper that I can afford to cut up. I do have some paper. I have this right here. And let's see how well it cuts through. So this kind of tore its way through the paper. Wasn't a clean cut, but I guess maybe I was holding it wrong. I didn't really do this before, so if I'm doing it like a total idiot, just let me know. Yeah, I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments. Hold on. Come on, catch. Maybe the paper itself is not good, but it is sharp. It is sharp. Let me give it the thumbnail test. Yeah. It's catching. Yeah, it's sharp. After what it's been through, we didn't do any like major structural, like we didn't cut logs or anything like that, but still though, it handled very, very beautifully. And I think it's really, really good. As I said before, I had some concerns about this guard right here. If you guys can see, the guard is a two-piece construction. However, in the cutting so far, nothing really happened. We did not test these blade on blade because, first off, they're sharps. These are not, good for HEMA or HMA, historical martial arts. These are, we're not going to test sharp swords on each other, right? But in terms of sharpness and in terms of handling, this handled very well. In the video, I do make a comment that like it feels heavy and I'm feeling some stress right there. And that's actually due to me having a little bit of tendonitis, which I didn't realize I was having during it. But doing it now and feeling how it cuts through, I think that all you have to do is keep a good grip. Or let me see you doing some like Polish Molinees. Let's see if you guys can see. It feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. Yeah, so that's enough about the Kilich. And now let's talk about the Yatagan right here. So this also very, very sharp, very, very sharp. Still see? Oh yeah, this might even be sharper. Let's try doing the paper test with this. Okay, I feel like that one was tearing a little bit. Let's see, maybe. Hold on. So that's how you're supposed to do it. Well, yeah, this is very, very sharp still after the water bottle test. And having done those water bottle tests with it, it's a chopper. It was exactly how I thought it would be. It would just slice right through the object and just keep going. Now, I think we're going to start off with this one in terms of how nimble it is, and it's okay. So it's heavy. That's what I will absolutely say about it. It's heavy, and that can be attributed to two main things. One of them is the lack of a distal taper. Right here, if you guys can see, it has a significant lack of a distal taper. And the other thing that makes it quite, I guess, unwieldy, is if you look at this bevel arrangement, what's going on, the majority of the sword is that same just like slab of steel, okay? And then there is that bevel on the edge. You really, really feel that. It is quite heavy of a sword. And when you consistently just keep cutting with it, you will actually end up getting a little bit tired. Not a little bit, you end up getting quite a bit tired because of how heavy the sword is. Also, another concern I was having was this, and still, if you guys can see right here, was just a little bit weird for me to hold. And so I'm sort of like choking up on it right here. And doing this is not bad, especially when we're doing our cuts to the water bottles. That was perfectly fine. But I'm assuming that this wants me to go down here. However, that is quite uncomfortable, especially you can see that digging into my hand. That is quite uncomfortable, at least this design here. In terms of like comfortability and maneuverability and all this, I feel like the Kilich is much more of that and comfortable. It's much more maneuverable. The Yatagan, it's a very interesting design. It's beautiful. I love this design, and I think because I'm going to keep this, I think this is beautiful. What I think I would do personally is I would actually grind this bevel down so I lop off a good amount of that steel by making a bevel that goes from the edge all the way to the spine. Okay? Because I've seen some historical examples that do exactly that. They have a consistent bevel throughout, a singular bevel. And I'm assuming those would be just excellent choppers. This one already is an excellent chopper. However, it has that axe grind and it is quite a bit heavy. So that is the negatives on this. But the positive, once again, sharp, very interesting, very beautiful blade. But yeah, so let's talk more about the problems with the Kilich. All right, so with the Kilich, one of the biggest problems is once again the lack of a distal taper. Okay, so if you guys can see throughout, this sword does not have a distal taper, and what a distal taper is actually, I might see if I have a sword that has a distal taper here. Perhaps, I don't think this one has a very, very big one. Perhaps the cold steel Shamshir has a good one. Okay. Yeah, the cold steel Shamshir has a distal taper. Okay, so I want you to keep your eye on the spine of the sword as I move it down. Okay, so from here, maybe you guys can see it. I'm going to move out of the way so the camera will focus on the sword. Okay, I'm also going to cover my face here. Okay. I hope you guys were able to see that. Or maybe once again cover the face. See. Okay, there we go. And I'm covering the face so that my camera doesn't focus on me. And I'm just gonna put this back. There we go. Just lock that back into place right there. Just make it clean. There we go. That's clean enough. We'll fix that later. But as you can see, that's what a distal taper looks like, where it's thicker at the bottom and thinner at the top. And what that does is that actually pushes the weight of the sword down closer to the hand so that it's much more maneuverable. Now, because this sword doesn't have that, it's very much relying on that fuller. And the fuller could only really do so much. Having a distal taper would actually very much benefit how well the sword feels. In the previous video, in my unboxing, I didn't show the point of balance. So we're going to do that here. Let's actually do that on my hand itself. Okay, point of balance is about right here, so that is about, what is that? Maybe 5 or so inches away from the guard. So pretty close to the handle. Let's see what the point of balance is with the Yatagan. Oh, I really don't want to cut myself. Okay, now with the Yatagan, it's showing that it is quite close to the handle. However, once again, it is a very, very heavy sword throughout. It gets quite uncomfortable to continue to swing this sword around. Okay? But I still think that these are pretty good swords. Both of them. Now, do keep in mind that I did get these for free, so I have that bias as well. But for the price, and I'm going to show the price up here, it's I think they're pretty darn good. And you can modify them as well if you are a little bit handy with tools, and if you want them to just like, if you love the design and don't want to actually, you know, smith a whole new sword, you can keep the design and then you could just modify it as you please, right? So for example, with the Yatagan, I'm going to take the Yatagan right now. I love the design of the Yatagan. I think I'm gonna keep this, maybe just hold it up here, right? Because I'm not a brass worker. I don't really know how to mess with this to make it just a bit more comfortable. But what I can do, and what I probably will do, is I'm gonna take a grinder and I'm going to grind this whole blade profile. I'm gonna reprofile it so that it has a continuous bevel. So instead of this having a bevel that is like an axe, I wanted to have a sword bevel. So going from the spine all the way here, all the way to that edge, I'm actually going to grind it to be one continuous bevel. And I'm assuming once I do that, then this is going to be just, you know, exceedingly light and manageable. And I might even add a slight distal taper to it as well, though I'm pretty sure that just by grinding it flat, it'll, not flat, by getting a flat grind, actually, yeah, a flat grind, yeah. By getting a flat grind on it, I think that might solve my problem. But as I said before, you could modify these, right? But if you like how they look, and they look phenomenal, they look beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, check this out, right? Look at that. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that guard as well. I'm going to put it in the scabbard. Now the scabbard is a bit lackluster if you want to have it for display, but I don't want to have it for display. I want to actually have this around, and actually, since I'm very, you know, North African corsair, maybe you guys can see it, maybe not, if I move back a little bit, but, you know, I have it in my sash right now, okay? Maybe you guys can see it, maybe not. Ugh. If you guys can't, then, you know, I'll post some pictures of me with this very soon. But I like this. I like how this is aesthetically. It's beautiful. And the way that you can just pull it out, my bad, the way you can just pull it out very, very easily. I love this so much. And it makes me want to improve it, right? Now, if I got a sword that's like, oh, it's just, it looks cool, but like, I really don't want this. I don't want to, that's not the case with this. I really, really like this. And my flaws can be fixed with just a little bit of, elbow grease, right? Now with this one, also absolutely beautiful. Once again, aesthetic choice. I really wish the Yataghan was sharp because I love that for my own swords. But even though it isn't, doesn't really matter. This also very, very beautiful, especially the scabbard. Look at how it's one of those thin scabbards too, so it looks really nice. Scabbard in the sword. Now, because of the way that the welds go, this does not close fully, as you guys can see. If I really wanted to, I can go through the effort of sanding it down and doing stuff with it, but I probably won't for this one. The main reason why is because this kind of design, what's going on here with the guard, I'm not the biggest fan of, okay? And I brought this point up in the previous video too. This is the kind of guard I love, okay? Now, if this sword had this guard, I would be all over it. I love this guard. Look at that. Look at how cool that is. I'm just going to show the sword a little bit. It's quite a bit dirty. I'm going to have to clean that up a bit. But look at that, okay? That guard, that pommel, that grip, absolutely beautiful. And I know I'm not making a review for this one. I might do one later, but I'm just trying to say that I'm not the biggest fan of this because this does not seem historical. In fact, I tried to find historical examples of something that looked like this. I don't really find good historical examples of that. So I'm actually going to put this one back. There. That one's back. And we're going to be talking about this. So if that handle were to change, or if you do, actually, if you like this handle, if you personally think that this is absolutely beautiful, all power to you. It's just a personal thing on my part that I prefer the other way, the more historical way. But if you like it, that's your prerogative. You can absolutely just keep it for just the looks, and they're beautiful. Let me show both of these guys up. I personally think that hanging this one up is really, really, really nice, just having it in the scabbard. But for this one, I do recommend having it, my bad, like this, having the scabbard underneath and the sword on top, just like that, or maybe vice versa, whatever. But as display pieces, absolutely beautiful. As cutting pieces, really, really good cutters. But as fighting weapons, or as something that is a trainer for someone that wants to learn Kilich or Yataghan, okay, you can. They are not the best at it. Okay, I would recommend something that's much more like a Hema sword. I mean, like this one here is a like Hema sword, and it feels like a Hema sword. It's like light, it's maneuverable, it's and not to say that these aren't light or maneuverable. I know the Yatagan I was talking about, that's a little bit hard to maneuver, but if you like it for the aesthetic, all power to you. They're very beautiful swords. They also cut very well as well. So if you want to just have something in the backyard to cut with, or just practice your own cutting with, sure, great swords. But now if you want something that's like truly, truly like historical, like I want the Yatagan, that's like, an authentic piece, or well, not an authentic piece, but a really good reproduction, I guess. I guess you can go with this. And once again, I'll put the price up here. I got these for free, so I don't know the exact prices. They could fluctuate, but if you want a Yatagan and if you want something cool like that to show off as well as cut with and also do a bit of practicing, great. Perfect, perfect. And I'm talking about them, might as well show them off, right? If you like this and you want to practice with it, and if you want to just use it for cutting and just to show off, beautiful. Absolutely perfect for that. But once again, these are not, oh, I put it the wrong way. These are not 100% historical. I just want to clear that up. So that's that for this video, essentially. Oh, in terms of rating, okay? We're gonna divide this into aesthetics. Aesthetically, yet again, like that's getting like a 9.5. I'm a bit of a, you know, like a snob. I'm not gonna give stuff 10s, but like 9.5. I'm gonna show it off again. Aesthetically, 9.5. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sword. Ooh, actually, okay. Sword by itself, I would say like let's go 9. Let's go 9. But the scabbard I love, but it isn't super decorated. The sword is very decorated. The scabbard is kind of like it's standard leather. Okay, so the scabbard is going to get let's give it an average. It's just an average scabbard, so maybe like a 5 for just average. Now 5 isn't bad. It's just average. Now for this sword itself, in terms of aesthetics, personally for me, I would say 6, simply because of the guard. But for other people, they're like, oh, that looks so cool, I'm gonna give that like a 9 or a 10. Your prerogative, sure. Really, really, really nice looking sword. Scabbard, this scabbard is nice. I really like the fittings on it. They look really cool, really cool. I'll give the scabbard an 8. Okay. I'm gonna put all the, you know, exact rankings up on the screen now. But yes. Now, if you want to go to buy them, well, I'm going to put the links to their page, their channel, not channel. I'm going to put the links to their website in the description of this video, as well as I'm going to put it on screen somewhere here, like maybe up there past this, or maybe over here, maybe there. Who cares? Who knows? Well, obviously you guys care, but who knows? I'm going to put it somewhere here, but you guys are going to see the exact links to both of the swords. And once again, I'll put the price like right here. If there's enough space, I'll put the price right here. And yeah, overall, I think these swords are really, really cool. And I just have a little bit of like nitpicky problems with it. But yeah, if you really want them, I do recommend them. I do think they're really good, and you could, like, once again, mess with them as you want. But yeah, that's my review of the Swordbuy Kilich and the Swordbuy Yatagan. All right.
Check the bottle.
Did it go clean through?
It's as clean as you can get. I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but
cleaner, but
it could be cleaner, but for not for my, like, factory edge.
Oh yeah,
this is unbelievably sharp.
It's the sword actually helps you cut through it,
Yeah.
because it is very wide.
I mean, I can see how when you started and then it kind of went up, but I mean,
right, and
this is as good a cut as we can get.
Right.
You know,
But
out in the elements.
This edge, beautiful. The bevel just slides right through the target. Even if your edge alignment is just a little bit off, it'll still cut through.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
I can see your edge alignment was off, but it did not matter at all.
So
So one down. Let's cut with the.
Yep. Let's see how the Yatagan goes.
Yeah, let's see how see how the Yatagan goes.
All right, Ken. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna wipe this down.
Yep, please.
When you're ready. ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Oh. Okay, so that was cleaner. Wow.
I kind of jumped it.
That is amazing. Look at that.
Yeah. So
He went straight up after.
what
That's
ended up
crazy.
happening, it looks like the initial cut went through. Let's do this. The initial cut went through here, and I think at this point the bottle jumped, and so you could see that little scallop happening there. At least that's what I think is happening. But that was quite fun.